Hey everybody, it's Jose Laya. We hope you're doing well. The second quarter of 2025 for the real estate market is in the books. And since the beginning of this year, we've started to do our market updates, focusing on each neighborhood we cover as a single video to allow you to really hone in on the neighborhood of your choice. Whether you currently live there and want to see how the market is doing, or you're considering buying there, we want to be able to put the information in your hands in a quick and easy way. We're also going to look at a lot more data points to be able to give you more details and information as to how the market is doing. We will also give you a breakdown of the sales data, including active listings for sale, closed sales, and we're also going to dive a bit deeper to see what price range most of this activity is taking place in. And we then will wrap things up with our market summary. Today, we're looking at the condo market in Coconut Grove, which is one of the most exclusive and desired neighborhoods in all of Miami. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. Okay, so here's our first graph. We're giving a month-by-month breakdown of the second quarter, April, May, and June. Let's look at the graph. We've got the number of actives went from 138 to 162 to 192. That's a big increase. However, what we can tell you, this is just how the market operates this time of year. What happens is a lot of listings are set to expire at the end of the first quarter or right around March 31st. So you always have a huge drop off in the number of active listings for the month of April. And then as the weeks and months go by, a lot of these properties get relisted, which is why you have that number increase, month over month from April, May, and June. This is not only specific to condos or houses or Coconut Grove. This is what we saw across the board as we wanted to see why was this happening in every neighborhood that we covered, and that's what we uncovered. If there's anything stand out here, closed sales was 23. It did slow down from April. Months of supply increased slightly. Days on market, look at that. I mean, out of the 23 closed sales, it only took a median of about 19 days to sell. That's pretty extraordinary. And the pricing's about the same, 821. The median price sold is $1,460,000, very similar to April. So nothing really stands out about the numbers here. Let's jump into the next graph where we compare the second quarter numbers to the first quarter to see if we can spot any trends. Here we go. So here's our graph. We're comparing the first to second quarter. Let's jump right in. And now here we do see that, yes, 192 actives is a lot more than what we had in the first quarter. However, closed sales increased as well, which is great. Months of supply stayed about the same. It just jumped to 7. Days on market came down dramatically to 48. And both the median price sold and median price per square foot increased, which shows that the second quarter overall for the condo market in Coconut Grove did perform better than the first. Let's now jump to our final graph where we take a snapshot of where the market stands today, as well as we could take a look at what price range this activity is taking place in. Let's look at that now. Here we go. Okay, so here's our last graph where we take a snapshot of where the market stands today, as well as the price range where most of the activity is taking place in. And second quarter condo market in Coconut Grove, 192 active listings, 77 closed sales for the quarter. Gives us about 7 months of supply. To put that in context, they consider a balanced market to have 6 to 9 months. So this is right in line with a balanced market or what's considered a healthy market. And given the fact that the median price sold is about $1.5 million, we actually consider that signs of a very strong market. If we look at the data below and look at the price range, what stands out right away, the $1 to $3 million price range, that's where most of the activity is taking place in. Look at that, 100 active listings out of the 192 and 34 closed sales out of the 77. So just about half of the transactions are taking place in that price range. If we lump together the million and under, and basically from 3 million and under, that's where we find most of the active listings and closed sales taking place in the Coconut Grove condo market. So we can kind of get an idea as to that's where most of the transactions take place in, at 3 million and under. We can also see that the next price range, 3 to 5 million, you still have closed sales and actives. And even in the 5 to 10, you've got 13 active listings and 3 closed sales. What we will note is that pretty much in every neighborhood that we cover, that $10 million plus price range, there seems to be a slowdown as not many closed sales are taking place in. And the 20 million plus, even less. We could see it here too. There was 2 closed sales above $10 million for the entire second quarter. Of which we like to note the highest priced closed sale for the second quarter for condos in Coconut Grove. It was a 4-bedroom apartment at Park Grove that sold for a very high number for $12.5 million, which was pretty extraordinary. The lowest price closed sale for the second quarter, it was a small 1-bedroom in the Grove for right at $300,000. So now that we've gone through all the numbers, let's jump into our market summary. Okay, so in summary, we can see that right now the condo market in Coconut Grove is pretty healthy. Even though most of the activity is taking place at $3 million and under, we can see activity in every price range up to about $10 million plus. Which again, we'll note that we've noticed that slowdown at the $10 million plus range and even more so at the $20 million plus in every neighborhood that we cover. Right now, the one negative that we'll say about the condo market in Coconut Grove is that we did see active listings increase by a lot. Now that we're in the midst of summer, which is typically the slower selling season, we just need to see how the market reacts to this new inventory that's been listed for sale. With days on market being only 48 days, which means it takes over a little bit over a month to sell your condo, and the median price sold being $1.5 million, these are all signs of the strong demand for condos in Coconut Grove. For buyers looking for condos in Coconut Grove, it appears that the market moves rather fast here, especially below $3 million. Right now, though, we are seeing more active listings for sale, which means more inventory for you to look through. So that may be a positive thing for you. As we say with condos, everything is building specific, so you have to go building by building to check the levels of inventory. Since the market moves rather fast here, we will suggest that if you do find the condo that you want, make an offer on it right away and try and negotiate the best possible price. If you're a seller in this market, you do have the advantage that the market's moving rather fast, especially at that $3 million and under price range. However, now that there's more inventory for sale, buyers do have more options to sort through. So please take note. We still suggest in the condo market to price your condo just a bit below the market to be able to attract as much attention as possible when coming online and coming on the market. You don't want your condo to sit on the market, especially with more listings coming on the market daily and weekly. You have to understand the market dynamics. Interest rates remain high, buyers are exhausted, and there's just a lot of economic uncertainty in the world now. So the best strategy you could do is to price it correctly from the start, get it listed, get it sold, and don't have it sit there where you're then trying to chase the market as it may be too late. One other thing we want to point out for the condo market, especially in Coconut Grove where you do have older buildings, you have to understand that there's a lot of negative press in the market when it comes to older buildings, especially those that need their 30-year or 40-year or 50-year recertification and either have not gone through the process or are going through the process. Understand that buyers, a lot of buyers, most buyers are staying away from these buildings, which makes it that much more difficult to sell your condo in one of these buildings. So we do advise you, have patience, understand that it may take a lot more time than you think to sell, and more than likely you're gonna have to sell it at a price under what you think the market will bear. You know, the truth is we see very little demand for condos in older buildings. As we've covered this in detail in other videos, we truly do not see this changing anytime soon. So please take note. Well, that's our second quarter for 2025 market update for condos in Coconut Grove. I am Jose Laya. I was born and raised right here in Miami. And as I start my 19th year in the real estate business, I can proudly say that our goal in making these videos is to provide you with value and help as many people as we can by sharing real market data to give you a better insight into the local market. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.